Hello! This is Way of Weinstein, wherever you may be and however you may be watching, live in the financial district of New York City, Facebook Live and YouTube, here to talk about the New York Knicks' brand new head coach, David Fizdale. So, I heard about this news about a couple hours ago and I wanted to give my initial thoughts. So, I like that he's a no-nonsense guy. And he seemed like he's a guy that really connects well with players. They like playing for him. He gets the most out of them. And he's not going to be rooked around. If you guys remember that when they played the Spurs, when he was the head coach of the Memphis Grizzlies. So let's take a look at a bio blast of Fizdale. So he's 43 years old. He went to John C. Fremont High School in Los Angeles, California, went to San Diego College, 92-96, and his coaching career. He was an assistant at San Diego from 98 to 2002, Fresno State assistant from 2002 to 2004. He was an assistant with the Golden State Warriors from 2003 to 2004, and then an assistant with the Hawks from 2004 to 2008. Now, most prominently, as in his assistant roles, he was an assistant on those LeBron and Wade Heat teams from 2008, and he was with the Heat until 2016. Then he got his head coaching debut with the Grizzlies only from 2016 to 2017. He's been a good analyst, and I listened to him on the Michael Rappaport Stereo podcast, which I really like what he had to say on there. And I don't feel like Michael Rappaport is almost kind of baiting him with, is he going to be the Knicks head coach? How would he like being the Knicks head coach? Maybe he knew that he was in the running then. So his record in his career. So he's got 101 games as a coach. He's got 50 wins and 51 losses, which makes for a winning percentage of .495. So, very small sample size, but here's the thing with the Knicks. I don't care if you had Red Holtzman, Red Auerbach, Phil Jackson in the 90s. If you look at the Eastern Conference, you've got the Sixers with Embiid and Simmons, who are only going to get better. You've got the Celtics, who are getting Gordon Hayward and Kyrie back next year. Is LeBron ever going to age? I don't know. Maybe he's Benjamin Buttoning, and he's just going to be even better and better and better. So, now granted, I like this hiring of Fizdale, but my guy was Mark Jackson. Thought New York's own, went to St. John's, played a little bit for them, but I'm not against this hiring, just that with basketball, if you don't have the stars, what does it matter? I mean, can the Knicks finally get lucky and get a Donovan Mitchell who's from the New York area, from Greenwich, Connecticut, who just did work last night? If you haven't seen that dunk where he just went through the entire Rockets defense, wow. So, granted, Porzingis is probably going to be out until 2019. Hopefully, if he can work with Porzingis and even get him to take that next step where he can be an all-star starter or someone who could be in the MVP discussions, I think Fizdale is great for that. But the key thing is the Knicks need to get that second star. And as much as I hate saying this, as long as Dolan's are in charge, there's not going to be a superstar that's going to want to come to the Knicks. I mean, can they get an Amari Stoudemire situation where they pay someone 5 years and they give them maybe 1 to 2 good years and they just have to bite the bullet with 3 years? Maybe. But overall, I don't think this is life-changing. I like the hire. Hopefully he can at least start to change the culture of the Knicks. Which, when you look at the Knicks, here's my assessment with the Knicks. I'm a Yankees fan as well. So the reason why I mention this is because the Knicks really aren't that much different than the Mets. The only main difference between the Mets and the Knicks is that the Mets, they share a city with the most historic franchise in all of sports, the Yankees, who have 27 championships. The Knicks share the city with the Nets, who have only been a New York team since 2012, and have even less championships than the Knicks have, 2-0. So, if anything, the Knicks are that one unifier that whether you're a Jets, Giants, whether you're Yankees, Mets, Rangers, Islanders, Devils, pretty much everyone is a Knicks fan in New York. Yeah, is there 5 to 10% of people who are Nets fans or fans of other teams outside the market? But if you're a New York basketball fan, I would say chances are you're a Knicks fan, and the percentage of Knicks fans to other New York teams, I would say, is higher than any other New York team in the marketplace, just in my almost 30 years of being a New York sports fan. So, can the Knicks do something well in the draft? Can Fizdale get a star to pair with Porzingis and at least win another playoff series? Because it's pathetic, because the Knicks have won one playoff series since 2000-2001, and that was against the Celtics when they had that great 54-win season and they completely faltered against the Pacers. But I'm hoping that Fizdale can right the ship. They can, most importantly, need another star. Doesn't matter how great he is. I mean, maxed out, even if he's as great as I think he can be, maybe the Knicks with a healthy Porzingis and a Tim Hardaway Jr., if he can up that to from around 15 points a game to low 20s, maybe they can get the 7th or 8th seed, if they're lucky. And then that gives them the right to get smacked by either Cleveland, Philly, or Boston. And granted, that depends on where LeBron goes. I mean, reports are saying now he's going to stay, but I feel like that depends on what happens these playoffs. So, overall, I like the hiring. My guy was Mark Jackson. I think as Knicks fans, we should all give Fizdale a chance. Give him, I would say, 3 years, because next year is kind of a wash without Porzingis out for the year, so I'm not really going to judge him what he does next year. But yeah, I think this is a step in the right direction, which, as a Knicks fan, that's all we can ask for, is putrid as the Knicks have been pretty much since Patrick Ewing. But overall, that's my thoughts on David Fizdale being the next New York Knicks head coach. More importantly, what do you guys think? Write it down in the comments. Like it, share it, comment. And if you haven't already done so, subscribe to me on YouTube. That is Way of Weinstein. And if you haven't seen Avengers, see it. Then you can watch my Avengers spoiler review, which I posted Monday night to the channel. Again, what do you guys think of the hiring of David Fizdale? Like, share, comment. Have a good evening. Good night.